Please subscribe to the channel and stay with me. Some wounds only reveal their meaning when the story is told to the end. It happened on a warm Friday evening in early June, on the terrace of a wine bar overlooking the Rhone. Lyon was glowing that night, the river reflecting gold and violet as the sun sank behind old facades and church towers. Glasses clinked. Laughter drifted through the air. It was meant to be a celebration. My promotion, 10 years of marriage, or maybe just the illusion that we were still happy. My wife stood among her friends, a circle of women dressed in linen and confidence, all of them successful in ways that sparkled easily. I stood slightly apart, holding my glass, listening more than speaking. That had always been my role. Then she laughed. It wasn't a cruel laugh at first. It sounded light, careless. But when she spoke, the sound cut straight through me. "Oh, please," Camille said, waving her hand dismissively. "I didn't marry Julian for love. I married him out of pity. Someone had to." For a heartbeat, the world didn't react. Then the laughter burst out. Sharp, surprised, uncomfortable. Someone said my name, softly, as if it might cushion the blow. Camille didn't look at me. She took a sip of wine, satisfied, as though she'd finally told a long-awaited joke. The river kept flowing. The city kept breathing. I felt something settle inside me, heavy and cold. I smiled. I always smiled. My father taught me that long before I learned multiplication. In our family, emotions were liabilities. My grandfather lost everything during the strikes of the 70s because he trusted the wrong people. My father rebuilt slowly, cautiously, believing humility was armor. "Never show them where it hurts," he used to say. "They'll use it." That night, I said nothing. I finished my drink, congratulated the host, and told Camille I'd meet her at home. She shrugged, already turning back to her friends. I walked alone through the narrow streets of Vieux-Lyon, past shuttered shops and glowing windows. The air smelled of stone and summer rain. Somewhere nearby, a violinist played for tourists who didn't know my name or my shame. At home, our apartment felt choujoy, foreign. We had bought it together 8 years earlier, renovated it with money I inherited after my father's death. Camille had chosen the furniture. I had signed the papers. She said it made sense. I was good with boring things. She came home after midnight, slightly drunk, unapologetic. "You're upset?" she asked, kicking off her shoes. "No," I replied. "I heard you." She sighed, as if I were being difficult. "Julian, don't be dramatic. You know it's partly true. You were lost when we met. I helped you." That was her version of history, the one she told herself so she could sleep. I didn't argue. Silence is dangerous when it hardens, but I let it. Over the following weeks, I observed my life as if it belonged to someone else. Camille spent more time out, networking, she said. She worked in cultural management, surrounded by donors and artists who thrived on attention. I worked in finance, managing assets quietly, efficiently. I had always downplayed my role. I didn't need applause, or so I thought. Her friends began treating me differently, politely distant, like someone who had failed an unspoken test. My mother called and asked if everything was all right. My younger sister, Elise, noticed my restraint and warned me gently, "You're disappearing again." That word echoed. I began to review documents I hadn't looked at in years, not with anger, with clarity. The truth was simple. Camille's lifestyle depended more on me than she understood. The apartment was in my name. Her startup, funded quietly through a family trust, relied on guarantees I provided. She had always trusted that I would never use that knowledge. She was right, until she wasn't. Autumn arrived softly in Lyon, leaves gathering along the riverbanks, mornings smelling of damp paper and coffee. Camille announced she was planning an exhibition abroad. Berlin, maybe Milan. She needed additional funding. "I'll handle it," I said calmly. She kissed my cheek. "See, this is why I married you. Reliable." That night, I didn't sleep. I remembered my father at the kitchen table, staring at bills, pretending not to hear my mother cry in the bedroom. I remembered promising myself I would never live small, never accept humiliation as the price of peace. The moral dilemma wasn't whether to hurt Camille. It was whether to continue erasing myself, to protect someone who had already erased me publicly. I chose truth over comfort. I withdrew my guarantees quietly, legally, with notice periods that seemed generous. I didn't sabotage anything. I simply stopped propping it up. Camille noticed within weeks. Meetings were canceled. Sponsors hesitated. She accused her team, then external factors, then me. "You're punishing me," she said one evening, her voice sharp. "For a joke." "It wasn't a joke," I replied. "It was a confession." She stared at me, really stared, as if seeing me for the first time. "You wouldn't dare," she said. "You're not that kind of man." That hurt more than the terrace ever had. Winter came early. The exhibition fell through. Debts surfaced. Camille grew frantic, then furious. She told our friends I was controlling, insecure, resentful. Some believed her, some didn't. I stopped defending myself. The climax arrived on a gray January morning in a lawyer's office near Place Bellecour. Camille had demanded a divorce. I agreed. The document spoke clearly. Ownership, responsibility, reality. Her confidence drained as she read. "You planned this," she whispered. "No," I said softly. "I survived this." She left the office shaking, reputation intact, but power gone. She moved in with a friend. Her social circle thinned quickly when she could no longer provide access or advantage. On the night the divorce finalized, I walked along the Rhône again. The river was dark, patient. The city lights trembled on its surface. I thought revenge would feel triumphant. It didn't. It felt clean, like setting a bone that had healed wrong. Months later, Camille wrote me an email. No apology, just confusion. "I don't understand when I lost you," she said. I didn't reply, because the truth was simple. I didn't lose myself that night on the terrace. I found myself, and I will never again let pity be mistaken for love.